Hey guys, back with another video here. Today I wanted to talk about how I think Resident Evil 4 is a great example for game developers and how they should take notes from this game, because most of the games today are not that great. And I'll be showing this video why Resident Evil 4 captures what a perfect game should be. One thing I do want to address before I start the video is that I got this format idea from Evil Bacon. He's a great YouTuber. You should go check him out. I'll link him in the description below. Anyway, let me just stop talking and get right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is how Resident Evil 4 on day one release had almost no glitches or bugs whatsoever. Of course, every game is going to have bugs, but when you compare games like Starfield and other new games that have came out recently to Resident Evil 4, it's kind of hard to not take into account the fact that most games in day one release are completely broken. For example, Pay 3 came out last week. Servers didn't work for a few days, and even after that, there were still major bugs that kept the game from working. And yes, I'm not going to sit here and act like Resident Evil 4 doesn't have a single bug or glitch, but there's barely any noticeable change from the actual game if they were gone. It's not just game-breaking bugs where Leon's shotgun blows up and kills him on the spot. Next thing I want to talk about is good voice actors. Every game should have good voice actors or terrible voice actors. There's no in-between. If you're gonna have a game and you want the game to come out good and be received well, then get some damn good voice actors in it. I don't care what your excuse is. Nowadays you have all these mainline Bethesda and indie games that come out, and the voice actors are either completely missing from the game, or people will either being held at gunpoint just to read off a cue card. And yeah, I know voice acting is a hard business. I understand that it costs a lot of money to hire good voice actors. I also know how hard it is to train to get your voice to actually sound good. I mean, for Christ's sake, listen to me right now. I sound like I have a stick between my teeth. Especially for a $60 game. I mean, come on, I can't be spending $60 over here if you're gonna make the character sound like their voice in a goddamn N64 game. On that note, I know that some people in the comments may state the obvious, and yes, I'm aware, Ada and Wesker's voice actors are not very enthusiastic about their role in this game, but it's still baffled by the amount of insane talent that went into all the other characters. Now, I am going to go out and say it right here, this is going to be the most controversial part of the entire video, because this is the plot and story part. Now, plot and story are two different things, and I will say this right now. While Resident Evil 4 does have a pretty good story, the plot is arguably not that great. A lot of things get retconned in this game, as if you don't play the first Resident Evil 4, you never even understand what Sava's motives are in the game. So I'm not going to sit here and act like this game is perfect in every means, because no game is perfect. But still, the story is something enjoyable and understandable. I know I'm using Starfield as an example a lot, but I've played the game for about 10 hours, and I can say that I still don't really understand what the whole main storyline of the game is. And while that can be explained as being a Bethesda game, requiring millions of your life being sucked into the game to understand 1% of it, I'm not going to act like every other game is amazing too in its own right. It seems today that developers are more focused on making a quick cash grab game than making an actual decent game that might even make more money than the crappy cash grab. Nowadays, developers just load their games with DLCs that make the game practically playable in that state only and nothing else. Which brings me to my next segment, which is the DLC part of Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is not a pay-to-win game, it's obviously a single-player only game. Although the DLCs do make it a bit easier if you're being challenged, but that's not what I'm trying to talk about. What I'm trying to explain is that the game provides more variety with DLCs so that you're not pressured to actually buy anything, but still, if you want a cool gun or some glasses, you can buy them. I'm going to talk about the separate ways DLC is. That's basically an entire different game, so maybe that's for another video. But the last thing I want to talk about is the challenges and basically the whole S+ strategy. Resident Evil 4 is not distinctly a hard game. You can play it in assisted, which is basically like giving a baby a controller and asking to press some buttons. Although, if you actually want a challenge, you can try to get the professional S+ rank or go for all the challenges. Now, while this will suck the soul out of you like it did to me, it's still a really great way to give the player more things to do after the game's done and not make it just a simple run-only game. That's all I really want to talk about in this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to go check out Evil Bacon. I'll put them in the description like I said earlier. And maybe I'll make another video on separate ways or something. Bye.